You guys, there is so much behind the scenes that I need to tell you about. Hello, my friend. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and still your number one source for everything It Ends With Us saga. I'm also a journalist, a world-renowned celebrity reporter, a podcaster, and somebody who can now say they took on some of the biggest, most expensive lawyers in law firms across the country, like Wilkie Farr and Manette, and I beat them. And her. Oh my God! I just got a call from my lawyer letting me know the very exciting news. Yes, I got a lawyer to represent me with this. And not just any lawyer, the ACLU. Boom! I fought this for over 2 months by myself. But last week, I had a hearing. And at that hearing, a local lawyer whom I want to give a shout out to helped me in such a meaningful way. Dawn Toman, you are a superstar. Bless you, Dawn Toman. Dawn Toman put me in touch with the ACLU of Nevada. I met with them earlier this week, and they agreed to represent me. The ACLU of Nevada. Having their help and their cosign is the only reason why this has gone away today. The biggest hug and thanks will never be enough. I am forever indebted and grateful to the entire team of the ACLU of Nevada, a tar, a leader, a noble, kind, smart man, the boss of lawyers, the most epic Chris, their team, Jake, Sammy, everyone. I cannot wait to celebrate at the ACLU of Nevada's big gala fundraising event next month. I'm going to be there. You need to come join us. And the timing of this all. The ACLU of Nevada officially signed on to be my lawyers yesterday. I met with them on Monday. They sent me a retainer Wednesday. We had a call to go over the retainer and some other issues yesterday. And then after I signed the retainer, the ACLU of Nevada called Subpoena Serena's lawyers and told them they were representing me. That was yesterday. Today, they filed a notice with the court that they are withdrawing the subpoena. But I'm not dumb. I know with every fiber of my being that if the ACLU had not agreed to represent me and did not call yesterday, today the subpoena would not have been withdrawn. They would have dragged this out and made it painful for me. Retaliation. She doesn't like Ku Klux Khaleesi or Blackface Betty. Let's read this. It's real. It's real. They filed this with the court. It says, respondent and cross-movement Blake Lively respectfully files this notice to inform the court that she is withdrawing the subpoena she served on third party Mario Lavandera Jr., Perez, H to the I to the L to the T to the O to the N, in connection with Lively versus Wayfarer Studios. Underlying litigation. The defendants in the underlying litigation produced more than 80,000 pages of material on the evening of September 8th, 2025, in response to an order compelling them to produce certain categories of documents, including communications with content providers who seeded, generated, created, or influenced social media or provided related digital or social media services directly or indirectly at their request. By the way, the Wayfarer parties, none of the defendants ever told me, please write something negative about Blake Lively. That never happened. There was no contract, there was no money exchanged, there were no favors promised, nada. And if these communications between me and the Wayfarer parties exist, she now has them. And they prove what I just told you all. I hope you can see them in the future, if they exist. I hope it's unsealed at some point. I think it would help. Plus, as I've said repeatedly, if what I had was some bombshell, something really that could hurt Justin Baldoni and the Wayfarer defendants, they probably would have used some of his billionaire co-founder's money in his production company to help me get a lawyer and pay for a lawyer. They never did that. They were never involved in my response to this subpoena whatsoever. And today's withdrawal says, while counsel for Miss Lively continue to process and review the newly produced materials, it is now clear that the production includes communications that would be responsive to the subpoena. As I told the court last week, and they knew. They could have and should have withdrawn this subpoena sooner, but they didn't. They only, I believe, withdrawed the subpoena today because of the ACLU of Nevada representing me and ringing them up yesterday. Attar, Chris. They're still representing me, by the way, just in case she tries to do anything else. So if I have to be deposed or testify or who knows what else, I am still, and this is important for her to know, I am still being represented by the ACLU of Nevada in this matter. Back to today's filing, it says, Miss Lively always has sought to receive discovery directly from parties, including by filing multiple motions to compel the production of documents known to exist, and is pleased that those efforts have resulted in a production of responsive documents that obviates the need to seek additional documents from Mr. Hilton or further relief from this court. Accordingly, Miss Lively is withdrawing the subpoena and respectfully submits that the pending motion to quash, mine, and cross motion to compel, hers, are moot and warrant dismissal. Dated today, respectfully submitted, her local attorney. And you know what? I agree. Team Ridicula withdrawing the subpoena means that my motion to quash and their motion to compel are now moot. And this is over for me! Asterisk, hopefully. I can never trust them. The ACLU of Nevada understood the real critical First Amendment issues at play here. They care about the First Amendment The ACLU of Nevada cares about protecting journalists in Nevada and about protecting everybody. Because if this went a bad way with the judge here in Las Vegas, it would have impacted not just reporters, but also sources, everyday people who want to hold powerful folks accountable, who want to be truth to power. I just got off a call with Chris and Attar. I spoke to both of them separately, and they both they were they gave me pats on the back. They were both impressed and wanted me to sit with and acknowledge that I put a lot of work into this before they came along this week. And I did. And also, I would not have been able to do everything that I did without my dad. Chat G to the P to the T. Every single filing I made was done in collaboration with Chat G to the P to the T. Otherwise, I would have had to give her what she wanted back in the beginning of July, or have spent by now $75,000 at a minimum to fight this. So I am forever indebted to Chat, to the G, to the P, to the T, and even more so to the team at the ACLU of Nevada. Heroes, real life heroes, helping people across the wonderful state of Nevada. The team at the ACLU of Nevada, I am forever indebted to them. And please join me on Friday, October 3rd, just a few weeks from now, for the ACLU of Nevada's Rise and Defend brunch. You can get all the details at ACLUNV, that's their social media handle, or on their website. The ACLU of Nevada's, oh, wait a minute. It's sold out. Oops. Well, that's wonderful. I just saw it sold out. I love that. I love that the community here in Las Vegas supports our local ACLU doing epic, amazing work across the entire state. I will be there at the Paris Hotel and Casino, and I'm going to celebrate. And I'm probably going to celebrate this weekend too, because I've got a lot to celebrate. If you want to celebrate with me, you can pick up some of my Grab Your Friends, Wear Your Florals merch, my official merch that you can get at buypopstuff.com, or get a personalized video from me on Cameo's website at cameo.com/my name, P to the E to the R to the E to the Z to the H to the I to the L to the T to the O to the N. But thank you for watching my videos and supporting that way, especially if you watch until the end. You are a superstar. You're my VIP fam. Hit that like button, comment, share, follow and subscribe if you're not doing that. And wait, I gotta scream. Beat you. I stood up for what was right, and I won. I stood up for what was right, and I won. Thanks to the ACLU of Nevada and Chat G to the P to the T and you. Honestly, the support I got from the media, and especially you watching, and people who don't even like me, a lot of my haters, but folks who understood what was at stake here and were on my side, thank you all. All right, I'll see you in the comments.